Today, we're going to plant bare root blackberries. Hi, I'm Kylene and I'm the Provident Prepper. These are bare root blackberry plants and they are just gorgeous. I did order them through the mail and I've had them for about a week and they've been hardening off. It's really important when you get plants that have any kind of foliage on that you slowly transition them to the sun. So we took these out and have been giving them a few hours of sunlight every day, but now it's time to put them in the garden. One of the reasons why I like to purchase my plants like this is because it is significantly less expensive to purchase them in the springtime as bare root plants.
But they were in these big bags and the leaves were really wet. So this is fantastic for shipping, but they can't stay in there. So I'm not going to plant these out tonight. So I have poked holes in the bottom of each one of these bags. And then they are in a container where I can water them and it drains into this just so that we can keep them really healthy. And I'm actually going to put them under lights in our little indoor garden, but you would be fine putting them in some protected area, but they will need sunlight.
These are Freedom Blackberries and they are a new cultivar, which I'm totally excited about. But these are a little bit different. So these are shipped out bare root, but as you can see, they're really not bare root. The roots are popping through this little netting that's on here. And when they first came, they did have some green growth on them, but we immediately took them out of the package and sealed them in, right? So that they could get used to the sun. So we put them out, we hardened them off and let them go in the sun for a few hours every day until they're nice and ready to be planted in the ground. Right now, this would be totally safe. We'll put it in the ground. The sun's not going to hurt it. But I love the beautiful root structure that comes with this. And these came from Johnny's Seeds. Johnny's, I've never been disappointed with some of the plants that I've gotten from there. I have been very disappointed with some other companies. So I'm just really excited. And this new cultivar actually produces huge blackberries on first-year canes. So we're really excited about this. When it comes to growing blackberries, they really do better if they are trellised and supported. I'm going to show you some photos that are courtesy of Neal and Val. They have created this beautiful trellis on their side yard, and this is space that normally could just be wasted. Sometimes the side yard of a house isn't the most attractive place, and they've taken it and made it beautiful as well as productive. Now, blackberries need to be pruned. There are now two varieties of blackberries. Most blackberries will grow fruit on the second year cane. This is the early spring growth after they have been pruned. Now these blackberries are just beginning to fruit, and at the bottom you can see that there are these shoots coming out. Most blackberries, those shoots that are going to come out will produce next year's fruit. And this is just a beautiful photo of the blackberries ripe and ready to be harvested. Blackberries don't all ripen at once, so you have this window of time when you are able to harvest them. Now, we choose to have blackberries on our homestead because they're delicious, but they can be eaten fresh. They're great frozen and tossed into smoothies. They make really good juice. Jams and syrups made out of blackberries are wonderful. They can also be freeze-dried, and blackberries, because they have such a strong flavor, are really good added to fruit leather. This is my existing blackberry patch. It is all along the backside of a chain link fence. Inside of that fence is where I have my chicken orchard. If you click the card in the corner, it will take you to a video that we have created about how we do this chicken food forest and how it works well. It's a really fantastic thing. We put the chickens to work keeping the bugs down, taking care of all the weeds, and they fertilize these trees. It's just a great situation. But now back to the blackberries. So these blackberries, if you look on the ground, you can kind of tell that I have a bunch of stuff actually planted at the base. You can see a lot of the garlic is popping up, but there's a lot of different, there's some yarrow, some medicinal herbs, different things where we're trying to attract the beneficial insects so that these blackberries and the fruit trees can thrive. Unlike Neal and Val's beautiful, tidy approach, mine is a little bit more of a wild approach, but I still get fantastic blackberries off of these bushes every year. Our goal is to be self-reliant, right? So that our land will produce a lot of the food that we eat. And blackberry bushes are a great example of a wonderful perennial to have on your property. They take very little work other than some good pruning every year, and yet they produce in abundance. And what a blessing to have a fruit that comes back year after year with just a little bit of work.
We've got the blackberries planted in the ground. It was just super simple. This soil had already grown food in the past, and so it was already really high in organic matter and had been really well taken care of. We have the peas planted. Now, the blackberry hopefully is going to take off, but if the pea starts to shade it out, I'll actually cut the peas. We can eat the peas off here, but mostly I'm doing it to fix nitrogen into the soil. We also have all of this garlic that I planted last fall, which will be harvested probably mid-June. But these blackberries are going to grow up the side of here, and then on the other side of this grow tunnel, we will have all the different squashes and vining plants grow over the top. Water is another thing that's really important. Underneath here, there are 2 drip lines. Well, actually 3. There's one on the other side of the grow tunnel. There's one right where the blackberries are, and then there's one over here by the garlic. So in here, we're not going to monocrop. We're going to make sure that I'm doing good companion gardening and I have more than one type of crop in the same place. It just is so much healthier for the plants. And you can see this is some spinach that I planted last fall that is now growing up. It's beautiful, right? This is totally the way to do it because I've just planted spinach and it's nowhere near productive, but what I planted last fall, it's already ready to be harvested and provide a good early spring crop. We have these blackberries planted all along this side. They're all ready to grow. They're the new Freedom cultivar, which means that they will grow blackberries on the first year cane. So I'm thrilled to see how they will do. They're nice and mulched in here with a nice wood chip mulch. A good mulch for them, if you can find some pine needles or something, they really like a little bit of acid, so sometimes mulching with a little bit of that is really good. The thing I would stay away from is the straw if it has any seeds in it, because I mulch some of our raspberries in our traditional bed, and we have a huge problem now with grass, and it takes a long time to weed that out. So I would stay away from mulching with the straw, but definitely this is great. We've got companion plants here, our peas and our garlic, and there's actually calendula that is coming up that you can't see yet. So this is going to be beautiful and productive. And now for the question of the day. What is your favorite way to preserve blackberries? Comment below. And thanks for being part of the solution.